So everybody's talking about this. Well, I wouldn't say everybody, but people from Comic Book Cast 2 or Comic Book Cast YT here on YouTube, Yellow Flash, and I'm sure others will talk about it. But the co-executive producer, or I guess that's what she's called, or was called basically, the executive producer, co-founder, what do you want to call her, of Marvel Studios. Even back when it was still kind of part of Paramount and then it became part of Disney, Victoria Alonso has exited the Marvel Studios. She is no longer with them. And nobody really knows exactly the reasoning for the sudden, I'm done, I'm out, you could have this all to yourself kind of decision. But a lot of people are speculating that there could be several reasonings. Now, some are assuming, like Comic Book Cast, that there could be some bad blood between her and those in the higher up positions, I should say, at Marvel Studios. We're not sure if it's bad blood between her and Kevin Feige, but apparently something happened, that made her decide to exit. Just all of a sudden, just be like, here's my resignation, I'm gone, see you later. Or like take her tag, her name tag, I don't think she had one, but if she did, it'd be like, here's my name tag, here's my box cutter, my multi-tool box cutter, and all that. Here's everything, and here's the uniform that you had me wear sometimes. Here you go, all yours, I'm done, I'm out. That's basically what it seems like she did. And again, no one is really sure exactly what caused this sudden decision to happen. Nobody is, really sure exactly what led to her deciding to, just suddenly get up and leave, kind of take her ball and go home, if you will, kind of walk out. To basically put it plainly, no one's really sure. It just suddenly happened. Disney has not made any formal announcement of her departure, like, oh, we've decided to part mutually and everything. Because a lot of people are saying that if Disney and the Marvel Studios would have basically said something along the lines that, we want to come out and announce formally that Victoria Alonso will no longer be serving us as executive producer, and that it was a mutual agreement to part ways, and we wish her the best in whatever her future endeavors and future opportunities that she has or awaits her, stuff like that. Disney hasn't done that. It's just, according to a lot of news, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, others, it is an abrupt exit. It's like, it's like suddenly it just came out of nowhere. It's like nobody saw it coming. And like I said earlier, a lot of people are assuming there's various reasons for it. One of the more various reasons for it could stem from what she has said in the past. Like she wanted to get rid of, like for example, when they did get the IP finally for the X-Men when they acquired Fox, she was one of the people that said, hey, I basically want to, I want to, change the name. I don't want it to be called X-Men anymore because I don't believe in the men portion of the title. Even though X-Men is what that franchise, has been built upon for years and years and years and decades. She essentially wanted to get rid of it. I don't know if it was mainly for for a movie representation or overall, but she didn't believe in the men portion of the name. The other thing was she wanted more female representation in the MCU. She wanted more superheroes to show up. Now, one could say that, with everything that I just mentioned and everyone else has just mentioned as, part of her, tenure as executive producer, co-founder of Marvel Studios and everything, people could probably come to their own conclusions, their own personal opinions and conclusions that, with the announcement that Bob Iger is kind of trying to scale back on that whole wokeness deal, just like David Zaslav and stuff is trying to do at the WBD, that's all the proof you need as to why she wanted to suddenly decide to hand in her resignation and leave, abruptly. Mainly because, she is a part of what's known as the woke culture, the SJW culture and everything. And that because, you get this sudden change in everything that's happening that makes it look like the SJW and the woke culture is, not having much of an influence like it used to. A lot of people, I'm assuming, personally, are probably going to say, yeah, that's the reason she exited, because she's starting to see that influence it once had that she was a part of, she supported, basically being phased out to present more, not just more product, but more, I guess you could say, broader storytelling that's not just being told to create diversity. And, if that's the case, if that's, the reason she left all of a sudden, in the eyes of a lot of folks, then okay, fine, but we don't know. We don't know what the bigger picture is when it comes to her sudden, abrupt decision to be like, I'm out, I'm done, with this company. Nobody really knows, but some, like I said, could make that conclusion that since you're starting to notice a little bit of a waning, not a waning away, but sort of a slow distancing from the woke and SJW influence on all of media across the board, Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, and all that, you have to think that maybe if she was a strong advocate, supporter of it, that's why she decided to exit, because now she's starting to see that wane, and knowing that's no longer going to be, not going to be a very inferential option or direction to go in. Maybe that's why she left. We don't know. Was there a blow up between her and Feige that caused her to leave, and that was related to it? We don't know. Was there a blow up between her and Iger related to that? We don't know. It's just something that just came out of nowhere. But like I said, people are going to make their own conclusions and basically pinpoint towards that being a possibility. Pinpoint to the fact that, her wanting to get rid of the X-Men name because she didn't believe in the men portion of it. Or she wanted more female representation with superheroes and stuff in the MCU. People will look at all those things that she came out and said she wanted to see happen, and basically added together now with her sudden abrupt, walkout, if you will, as maybe being a way of she saw the writing on the wall, that she started to see the waning influence that woke and SJW is having on Hollywood, kind of slowing down and not being as strong as it used to be. And she basically is like, okay, I don't want to be part of this. I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm going to go elsewhere and see if maybe I can find a studio or a place that believes in the same stuff I do. Again, we don't know. We don't know what the reasoning is, but yeah, she is gone. She is gone right now, and right now it's all in Kevin Feige's hands. It's all in Kevin Feige's hands. I'm sure they got somebody lined up, just in case. I'm sure they have somebody that was below her, that's going to step up and take over and maybe, continue where she left off, or maybe right the wrongs that some maybe felt she was responsible for. We don't know. But over time, there will be more information coming out, and I'm sure everybody from Yellow Flash 2 to Comic Book Cast to John Campea to 3C Films and all that, I'm sure they'll be on top of this, and they will give you their opinions on what they find out. Geeks and Gamers, I'm sure, will be the same way. Midnight's Edge will be the same way. But again, like I said, I guarantee you, they will give you a lot more information probably than I will. But yeah, if this woman, and I do believe it, if she is as important as she was to the MCU, Marvel Studios as a whole, and, her suddenly leaving, is like a big surprise to everybody because of the the impact she had, the influence, the impact, that she had, the support that she gave Feige in the studio itself. Obviously, there's got to be something to it, but we don't know what it is. And if it is what some people are assuming it could be, then, obviously, maybe, and I'm saying this with all due respect, no offense, maybe she should have known better than to, come out and say, oh, I want to change X-Men to this because I don't believe in the men part, or I want more female representation. Look, that's all good and everything. If you believe in it, more power to you. But I say this with all due respect, no offense. Maybe she should have thought about what she was going to say before she said those things, and try to maybe reword it in a way to where she made her intentions clear, but it didn't feel like, oh, she wants to see women empowerment more so than anything. And again, I say it with all due respect, no offense. But maybe she should have been more careful about what she said there. I'm sure Clownfish TV is going to touch upon this too. Today, maybe later. But yeah. Again, maybe she should have been more careful about what she said. Maybe thought about it before she said it. Because again, people will look at that and be like, we'll be like, hey, we can connect what she said there, and connect the fact that we're hearing these things about woke and SJW culture not being so influential anymore, especially with Iger, the likes of Iger and stuff being, coming out and saying, yeah, we're not going to really, be behind that anymore, or let that influence what we do. People will connect the dots in strange, unique ways to basically pinpoint maybe exactly what caused her to say, enough, I'm done. But we'll have to see down the line. We'll have to find out when more information comes out, and others, like I said, like 3C Films, Comic Book Cast, Yellow Flash 2, Midnight's Edge, and Clownfish TV and others report more on this as the time goes on. We may not even know for years because of an NDA. That's one thing Comic Book Cast pointed out. We may not know because of that, but we'll see. But what are your thoughts on this, guys? What are your thoughts on this abrupt, sudden exit by Victoria Alonso, the executive producer of Marvel Studios? What do you think the reason could have been? Let me know down below in the live chat during the premiere. And until next time, I will talk to you later, and you will get an audio podcast version of this at BW Rosas Discussions on all your favorite audio podcast platforms except for Pandora, and more specifically, you'll get it on Spotify. But guys, give me your thoughts down below in the live chat, and I am out.